Timothy Mitchell with HP Latex. I want to explain to you what I think are the best practices for loading the material onto our cutter in our print and cut systems. So the way I do it is you have to make use of the onboard drag knife cutter on the printer itself. So the 315 and the 335 and the 115, they all have drag knife cutters. So when I'm done with the print, I hit cut on the printer, and that drag knife cutter drags all the way across and it cuts it. And the great thing about that is it cuts it in a perfectly straight line. Okay, so don't use scissors or some other device after you've printed the job and then cut it, because what you want is a perfect square if you're loading a sheet, if you're just doing a small sheet run. But you want that front edge to be completely straight. And the reason why is that straight edge allows you to accurately load the material easily and simply into the cutter. So behind me, I have the cutter, and I hit cut on the printer, and it puts a perfectly straight line from here all the way down to this end here. That is a nice, straight, even line. And I know that that even line is right, and it's going to allow me to use the ridge or the lip, which is right here on the cutter itself. So as you feed the media out, there's a little ridge right there that drops down. So what I do is I line it up this way, okay? I line it up horizontal, not vertical. If this here is exactly on the edge of the ridge, and then this end also is exactly on the edge of the ridge, it's going to line up perfectly. And then when it feeds forward, everything is going to be where it is. In the past, I mistakenly would line up these cutters by having a little piece of tape or something, and I would do it vertically. And so the vertical line, I would try to get it there. That never works. It always kind of skews on you. And I don't want any skew. I want the sheet, or if it's a longer run especially, to track perfectly, to go all the way along the run of the media, the length of the media, without drifting anywhere. And you achieve that by loading it in the front, straight across along this lip, and everything will be perfectly dialed in. You won't have any troubles. So using that drag knife is really key because it makes it real easy. Otherwise, you have to go usually to some external cutter or some kind of an L system and then cut that straight so that you have a perfect L. So that's how I like to load it. That's how I use the drag knife. That's the best system that I know of to be able to get your print and cut to line up right easily, and that is a best practice that we recommend.